I think I know the Bamberg Orchestra since 1981. I think was the first concert with them. And but I know the orchestra from hearing much earlier. I remember very well the first concert I heard with the Bamberg Symphony. I was a student in Stockholm. I was perhaps 20 years old. And the Bamberg Symphony came to Stockholm and played with their music director, which was Josef Keilbert. He was the first music director of the Bamberg Symphony right after the war. And he was a wonderful musician, absolutely wonderful musician. And I remember the program, especially I remember the encore they played. They played as an encore Till Eulenspiegel, which is a long encore, 14, 15 minutes. And it was impressive, the virtuosity, or the sound, the wonderful sound of this orchestra. And believe it not, in Bamberg, the music life is terrific. It has 70,000 inhabitants, but they have 7,000 subscribers to the symphony club. So that means every 10th person in the city is a subscriber to the symphony. They have a big concert hall, and there's a terrific music life there. But the city is too small for this great orchestra, so they tour a lot in Germany and all over the world. It's the German orchestra that tours the most. So it's a very special feeling also to play with this orchestra. They are, even if today there are no Bohemians left in the orchestra, they're all Germans or some foreigners also, but mostly Germans. They have this Bohemian spirit, very, very free kind of music making. And the city is small, so they are relaxed. They are relaxed, very disciplined. Not relaxed in a bad way, but you don't feel these edgy elbows. You have to do this. You just make music. It's a wonderful spirit. So I have a very long relation with Bruckner's music, all the way as a teenager. I remember hearing the Bruckner Symphony for the first time. It was the fourth, by the way, that we're playing with the Bamberg Symphony. I was 30 years old or 40 years old, a schoolboy in Göteborg, in Sweden. And they had a wonderful concert hall, a very good orchestra, and it made such an impression on me. When I went back home with my brother after the concert, we tried to remember the tunes and sing the tunes. We would not forget it. We had no money to buy the scores. I couldn't read a score. So try to remember the tunes and sing them. And like a bird, And then I come home, I try to write it down, in music papers. So I must not forget that. And of course, there were no recordings at that time, no CDs. I could not go into a shop and buy something, and we had no money either. So I had to write it down. So I was completely intoxicated with this music. And the reason, I think, is that it has such grandeur. It's a beautiful, beautiful landscape in nature. You see mountains and lakes and a wonderful long horizon, a beautiful world. Whereas in Mahler's symphony, you don't see that. You see the street. You see one is pulling you here. So that is city music. But Bruckner was country music. And I liked that very much. Later, I understood why Mahler was as he was, and I loved it because we are more or less the same as Mahler. We are tall, We perhaps love the country, but we live in the city. So we know all the conflicts that comes with work and religion and philosophy and lots of that. But Bruckner's world is another world. free world, a high, lofty world. You could say it's like heaven. I would say that if it sounds so cheap when you say it. So I avoid that. But this kind of music, you know, is lofty and serene, and I think people today start to love that more and more, because our life is so torn. Our life is so nervous, and so we have so much tragedy. You know, not only tsunamis, but also in our families and in the politics, and so much tragedy. You know, so Bruckner's world is a world of peace and beauty, but it's not peaceful in the meaning that we just sit and relax. It's beautiful. It is full of drama also, but there's always a solution to the drama. So I always had a wonderful audience for Bruckner when I came to Japan. I think Japanese people appreciate this music. I'm looking forward to this very much because I have toured quite a deal with the Bamberg Symphony in early years in Europe, but never to Japan. It's a typically German orchestra. It has a very deep kind of sound, and of course they have a deep understanding of the music, which shines through in everything they do when we play this kind of repertoire. It's a very versatile orchestra. They play lots of also unusual repertoire. They have recorded so much music of lesser composers, modern and older, but lesser composers in the second row, because there's a great need for that also. So they have an enormous repertoire, but their central repertoire is the German classics. Beethoven, Brahms, Bruckner, Mahler, Schubert. They are famous for that, and they do it wonderfully. Also Richard Strauss. So I think the programs we are doing, featuring mostly Beethoven, Mozart, and Bruckner, is right at their central repertoire. And I think the Japanese people, we appreciate that, to have another variety of the German sound. It is very German, but it has a little bit Bohemian flavor still, since the orchestra stems from Prague. So it is, let us say that it is a Brahms Bruckner orchestra, but with some Dvorak accents. And since I toured Japan with the Czech Philharmonic 2 or 3 years ago, this is sort of a nice combination, the Czech sound and the German sound.